So can we do that? Let's do that. All right. And like I mentioned, True Story is back. Not like it had taken a break. All right, Shafi, where is already on phone? Shafi, if you can just hang up. Let's now do some work here. All right.
Yes, what's up?
Who are you calling right now?
No, it's my sister's calling me.
Their sisters. You call your sisters at 10:17?
She's the one who called me. She just seen me on TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. So, like I mentioned, we'll be getting to Willis the Word Master shortly. But before then, let me challenge Nick and Shafi on how we pronounce this word. I don't even want to mention it because I know the
So if you
answer.
don't mention it, how are we gonna...
No, so I'll show you because I don't want you guys to... All right, so here's the word. I'll just show them by way of text. The first word, how do you pronounce that word? The one with an M. M-A...
It says mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah, but let's give alumni of Kibera Primary.
What would you say?
Mayonnaise.
And what did you say?
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise
Yeah, mayo.
and mayonnaise.
Yeah.
All right.
And then continue.
No, mayonnaise.
No, I think it's
I'm a
mayo.
mayonnaise.
It's mayo, mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise.
I know, mayonnaise in your Alaska.
Okay. So
like a
we'll
pickup
also
line,
get to hear
mayonnaise.
the Kenyans on the streets and what they had to say about this particular word. All right, let me have my phone back.
Yeah,
Thank
'cause I
you.
was about to-
All right, so I understand that Willis the Word Master is on. Willis, good evening. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Great. Willis, good evening. You're dressed in red, so I'm a bit scared because I think we're in trouble tonight when it comes to pronunciation. How are you doing? How's the week?
My week has been good and things look, elephant, if I may use that word elephant to mean things are great or big for that matter, because from the start,
Yeah.
you've been running it so nicely for tonight with Don Moen and,
Yeah.
of course, the other host or guests in the studio.
Thank you very much, Willis, the Word Master. Did you say studio before even we get to word on the
Yes, we say studio. Studio, Betty, you can say stew. Stew usually is American, but studio is British. You can use them alternatively depending on your inclination, Betty. But saying studio, there is nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
But when we talk of RP, you
Yeah.
say stew. There's that diphthong, that glide, studio.
So then how do you say like stew, like beef stew? Is it still stew or there's something else to...
Beef is, you talk of beef, B-E-E-F.
Yes, stew, like stew, beef stew.
Beef. You say beef stew.
All right. But then
Beef stew, S-T-E-W,
All right.
is stew.
So stew.
But you also say studio, just like you say student.
All right.
Student.
Oh.
S-T-U, stew. Student or student. Then studio. Stewpa.
Wow.
Do you now understand?
I do understand, Willis. It's a surprise, and you said we could either say studio or studio, and I think I'll be saying
Yes.
studio because I want to sound a bit, like I know a bit of English. Willis. So studio. I mean,
Don't struggle
studio.
to sound like you know a bit of English. If you struggle to sound like you know a bit of English, Betty, as I always say, you'd be doing yourself some harm when it comes to communication.
Okay.
Just get the pronunciations right,
Okay.
and then communicate. Let that be your major that is aim.
All
Your
right.
objective should be to communicate, not
Communicate.
to sound unique.
Okay, Willis. But anyway, I mean, I talked to you and you're the word master. I have to, showcase my English sometimes, but just a way of association with you.
No, a language is a language, Betty.
Okay. So Willis has said is, you can say studio. All right. So Willis, I want us to start with word on the street. I started by asking Nick, Odhiambo, and Shafi, where we're here in studio, how to pronounce, and you said may? Nick, you said mayonnaise.
I think it's mayonnaise.
And Shafi said mayonnaise. Let's hear what other Kenyans had to say on the streets.
Mayonnaise, mayonnaise, mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, mayonnaise, mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, 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 Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise.
Willis, there's somebody who said mayonnaise, and I'm like, mayonnaise. So how do we pronounce it correctly, Willis?
Betty, it happens, but you see, one thing, when we're talking about, the cold sauce made from eggs, oil, and vinegar, we talk of mayonnaise. Mayonnaise, or you can say mayonnaise.
Okay.
Not ma. Ma, we should avoid it. Many people have talked of mayonnaise. We have that mayonnaise and all that, but the correct or accurate pronunciation, you say mayonnaise or mayonnaise.
Right.
You can have the stress on the second syllable, naise, or just at the onset. That is the beginning. Mayonnaise or mayonnaise.
All right, Shafi is very happy because he got it correct. And Nick, I think you need...
I'll be corrected in the next one.
You need more English pronunciation. All right, Shafi, we're saying thank you. All right, Willis, let's get straight to the next words. And this one is destined or destined.
But you remember we covered one time, we covered determined. That is what people say commonly.
Yeah.
And that is locally, which is wrong. Determined, no. You say determined. To determine. Now, we also say destined. You don't say destined. Destined, no. You say destined for something or destined to do something.
Okay.
So destined, no.
Destined it is, Willis.
Yes.
Destined. All right, moving on to this other word, and I'll start from academic or academic education or academic process or academic examinations. How do you say that word, Willis?
You say academic, but don't say academia. You say academia. Academia, not academia.
Academia.
But we say academic.
Okay.
That adjective is academic, but we have academia.
Academia. Got it, Willis.
Yes.
And let me spell this one. A-C-A-D-E-M-E. Academe.
Oh, that is the formal or humorous word which also has the same meaning as academia.
Okay.
You say academe. Academe. What you don't say is academe. Don't say academe and all that. You say academe.
Academe.
Academia. That's the other word for academia.
All right, now Willis. Okay, great, thank you. Now Willis, before even we leave this, because I'm seeing this M-E, there's somebody on Twitter who was asking about this word M-E-M-E, meme, and they were asking if the correct pronunciation is meme, 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 which is which, Willis? And I know we've tackled this question before.
But as an English word, you say meme.
Meme.
Don't say meme. Meme,
Okay.
that is a local name. You can find it in, the Kamba community, Kisi community, Luo community, where we say meme, meme, or meme. But when we come to the English word, you say meme. Not mem, not meme.
Not
yes,
meme. Meme. Got it, Willis. Moving on to this other word. Do we say equitable, equitably? Which is which? Is it ek or ik?
But we say e. Letter E takes the sound e. In equity, don't say equity.
Okay.
Equity.
Equity.
Then you talk of equitable. Equitable, not equitable.
Right.
Then equitably. Equitably. For example, you can say most employees or employees are treated equitably, not equitably.
Okay, that's a surprise.
Equitably. Don't say equitably, please. Equitably, no. Equity, no. Equitable, no. Equity, equitable, equitably.
Wow. Okay, so that's a serious surprise, Willis, because I've known this word. I've always said equitable distribution of resources, but it's equitable
it happens,
distribution
Betty.
of
It happens to many people.
All right, Willis. Moving on to this next word, Willis. It's designate. Is that the correct pronunciation of this word? Designate.
When you say designate, designate, you are using the adjective form. That is when the word functions as an adjective. Like somebody who has just been chosen to, take up some job or a certain position, we talk of like now the director or director designate. Net. But when you use that word as a verb, you now say Nate.
Oh,
that is
Nate.
that glad Nate.
Okay.
To designate. Just like delegate and to delegate.
Okay.
Designate, that is the adjective. Designate, that is the verb.
All right.
Yes.
Hey, Willis, this English, designate and designate. All right, Willis, moving on to this other word. Relapse or relapse? Which is which?
Oh, that one also has, as a verb, you say relapse. To relapse. But as a noun, we say a relapse.
A relapse.
Now you have that long sound E. A relapse.
Okay.
But remember, even as a noun, you can also say relapse. But commonly as a verb, relapse. To relapse.
To relapse.
Relapse.
Relapse. All right,
Yes.
Willis, moving on to this other word, D-R-E-W. So do we say like he drew a portrait, or is it drew?
Oh, many people talk of drew.
Yeah,
Drew is wrong, Betty. That is not accurate. You say drew. D-R-E-W is drew. Just like brew. Don't talk of brew. To brew. B-R-E-W. We grew together, not we grew. He threw the ball. He threw the ball. Past tense of throw is threw, not threw. Then we talk of blew. He blew the whistle, not blew.
Okay.
And he flew, not flew. He flew. So the tricky thing is, like you talked of stew.
Yes.
You don't say stew.
I was going to ask that.
You don't say no. Few, you don't say foo. This is where, when you study the phonology of English, Betty, you'll realize that we have what we call now the irregularities of spelling and pronunciation.
Okay, that's a surprise, Willis. So drew, blue. Is that correct? Like instead of blue, it's
Yes.
blue.
Flew, blew,
Okay.
threw, grew, brew, and drew. Don't say they drew one all. They
Okay.
drew.
Drew.
Yes.
Okay, that's a surprise. Wow, Willis.
Yes.
Thanks for that. Moving on to our feedback question. This one comes from Baraja Swale in Kilifi. Thank you for watching. He's asking about this word. Do we say a word that I personally know it as preferential? Is that the correct pronunciation, Willis?
Oh, Betty, you don't say preferential. The verb is prefer. To prefer something to another. To prefer.
Yeah.
But we say preference, not preference. Preference. Then preferential. Preferential. Just like we talk of present. Present, the verb.
Yeah.
But don't say presentation or presentation. You say presentation, present or presentation. That is where now that change. Upon inflection, when the word changes its form for grammatical function, partially we may have a slight difference or some difference in terms of the pronunciation, partially. So, prefer, preferential. Don't say preferential, Betty. So, Baraka Swale of Kilifi, you have to get it right. Preferential. Ken or catch, you say hyperbole, not hyperbole. Hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
That is a word which is common in literature. You say hyperbole, not hyperbole. And you also say silhouette. Mary Nafula of Busia, we have idiom. Don't say an idiom. Say an idiom. And idiomatic. An idiomatic expression.
Okay.
Ahmed Guhad of Garissa, regurgitation. Davis Jeffrey Kalosh of Rwanda, halabaloo. Don't say hula. Hula, no.
Hula.
Ha. That letter U takes the mid-central vowel sound ha. Halabaloo, not hulabaloo. Many people say hulabaloo, Betty. Catherine Mutis of Kitui, bombers. The bombers. Don't say bombers. We say bomb, bomber, bombers, bombing. So the sound mb should not be used when you're pronouncing bomb,
Okay.
bomber, bombers, bombing. Susan
right.
Barasa of Kahawa West in Nairobi, architect and architecture.
All right,
Don't
Willis.
say architect. Architect, that digraph text sound k, like a K. Architect, architecture. Then
Okay.
Lazarus Mumo of Machakos, you say hearse, the hearse, that vehicle, the hearse. Don't say the hearse. Peter Mwangi and Peter Omega of Kisii, I believe this is equity if I'm not wrong. Simulation and accessories. Peter Mwangi and Peter
Okay.
Omega, you catch that or you get that right. Roberta M. Betty, there is a word which is very tricky here. O-M-B-R-E. When we talk like that game
ombre.
of cards and all that, we say an ombre, not
Ombre.
ombre.
All right,
An
Willis.
ombre. Some may say omba, just like when we talk of the ogre or oka, but we say ombre.
All right, Willis.
Francis Lupao and Paul Ope, furor and furori.
Furori.
We can now go straight to the surprise word for tonight.
Yes,
Betty,
yes,
I hope you
finally.
can remember this word in chemistry.
Yeah,
In chemistry,
valency.
you'll hear of valencies, valency, and all that. We say valency, not valency. That letter A takes the sound A, that is its name as the sound, valency. And we also say vagrancy, not vagrancy. Vagrancy, not vagrancy. And we also have vacancy, not vacancy. Vacancies, no.
All right.
Vacancies. And Betty, the phonetic transcription below helps many of our viewers. Those who
Valency.
understand the IPA transcription, that is the International Phonetic Alphabet Transcription,
All right.
they can really understand how to say it.
Thank
Valency,
you.
not valency. And finally, which cause are you taking? Which cause? You must have heard that. Cause.
Yeah.
When
which
we have
cause?
C-O-U-R-S-E, don't say cause, but I'm talking about what may be very important for you as a viewer or those who love good English pronunciations. When we talk of C-A-U-S-E, you
Cause.
say cause with that voiced sound Z, like a Z. The cause of something. What has caused it to cause? C-A-U-S-E. But when we talk of C-O-U-R-S-E, you say cause.
Cause.
Cause. The
All right.
cause. Which cause are you taking, not which cause? So such confusing words we should always understand,
All right, Willis.
especially for those who know about minimal pairs or contrastive pairs. But in communication, saying the right word in the right context helps you to communicate clearly. Betty, anything from your end? Anything more?
I'm good to go for the weekend. Weekend. I'm good to go, Willis. Thank you.
For the weekend.
Weekend.
So, Betty, from my end, that is about all.
All right, thank you very much, Willis. I enjoyed tonight's lesson. Biggest surprise was studio. I'll be using that for quite some time. All right, so we'll take a short break. That has been Mind Your Language here on Friday Briefing. Remember, we're continuing with the show. When we come back, we'll be having a true story with Nico Diambo and Shafi Weru here in the studio. Studio,
Studio,
we're
on top
in
of
the
it.
Studio. All right, so that's coming up shortly.